Thank you for joining me today, everyone. Really appreciate it. And we're not in the garage. I'm warm, it's winter, and I can't actually do much driving right now. Here's the solution. I've set up a sim rig. Before we go into it, I just want to ask, if you're new, please subscribe. If you like it, please hit that like button. If you dislike it, dislike it. I don't care. Just let me know what you think. So this setup is a very budget-friendly, cheapskate-oriented sim rig. But it's not like one of those crappy play seats with the bar going through your legs that it just, yeah, those don't feel right. So the actual wheel shifter pedal setup is a Logitech G29. It's not like the cheapest thing you can buy. It's far from the most expensive thing you can buy. You know, it's nothing like Fanatec or something like that, or the even further on up. I did try and actually use some actual car parts in here. The seat. So the seat actually came out of the Mini. This was the original driver's seat, all worn and cracked and everything. So it's heavy as hell, but it is super comfortable. You can actually sit in this thing for hours and be fine. It's not like, you know, the crappy knockoff racing seat that you normally see with these. The other benefit of having a real seat is full adjustability. I can raise it up and down. I can move it forward, lean it back, do all of that, and it's still on its sliders too. The really interesting part here though is the frame. So this frame is the cheapest frame you can actually buy. I think on Amazon it's like $150 for the full frame. But it sucks, it is terrible. I don't know who designed it, but I don't know if they've ever sat in a car before. So this has been heavily modified by me. Angle grinder and welder, and then just some steel that you buy down at the hardware store. And then some random scraps I had laying around. So the first terrible thing was just this. This was the original top. I added this. I raised it up. Normally this was the top. This had a flat part going across here that you'd attach the wheel to. And it extended out about this far. Yeah, it would be in your lap. I don't know how the hell that was supposed to work. And plus, it tilts downward. Every car I've driven, the wheel tilts up a little bit. So I don't know what this all was. But it wasn't right. So yeah, I cut this back, welded on a couple of supports here, and put a platform across the top. Actually have this bolted down and clamped, so it is super sturdy. Made a little mount out of scraps and kind of piecing together the original mount, and welded it in, and this is also bolted and clamped as well, and the pedals are bolted. Oh, that was the other thing. So the pedals were weird. This bar here wasn't there. Instead, the bottom of the pedals, it just sat on the floor, so they were at this super almost tilted forward angle. It wasn't comfortable at all. That was on the lowest setting. So I put that bar in there, and that helped bring the pedals to a much better angle. The welds are not pretty on this. This is a pretty thin steel that they used. You can kind of see that maybe. And the hardware stuff is all almost an 1/8 inch thick. So I did a really crappy job welding this. Yeah, I'm an amateur. And then how they had it connect was also really weird. And I still have one of the, well, when I say connect, the shifter was originally held on this way and it made it super loose. Back half is still held on that way, but that part doesn't matter as much, but I'll show you. So there's a tube inside of these that mates it, but there's such a huge difference. I mean, look at that. It's not actually sturdy. I mean, once I sit in this, it's sturdy, but yeah, normally not. And the shifter moved just as much as this did. So that would not work at all. That'd be terrible. And then I just used whatever spray paint I had laying around. So it's this flat, I think it was for my barbecue grill. So the black doesn't really match, but who cares? This is for my own setup. The TV is cheap. So this TV, I think I bought it in Christmas of 2010. It's old, but it's 1080p. But it's a Westinghouse, and it has a dead pixel up in the top corner. It's not good at all, but I had it. I wasn't using it, so this was a great use for it. You can see how I have it attached. This is a standing desk monitor mount. Can't remember how it was labeled. And then I just made a base that I welded on, and then it's bolted to that mount, but it stays sturdy just fine. The downside is because this TV is older, it is heavy. For only being a 26-inch, it is really heavy. This arm cannot hold it up, actually, which is why I have the base still on the TV and it's actually resting on this. But when you're working on a budget, you work with what you got, and that's what I got. Now you might have also seen over here, I'll get rid of that. HTC Vive base station is up there and up there. That part I really like. I do much better in VR than I do with the screen. I think it's the depth perception. I still have a really hard time with the screen, but VR makes it a bit easier for me. The PC is decent, but it's older. It has a 1070 graphics card, so that's a generation behind. The CPU, it's an i5. I think it's about 4 years old now, but honestly, for the racing games, it does just fine, and it powers VR headset just fine. There are expensive setups that you could get, but it wasn't really necessary for this setup. Plus, if you're more of like a console side, just hook your console up. You don't need a PC for it, but that's the route I personally took. So as you can see, I have Dirt Rally up here. I also have Dirt for Assetto Corsa, Project Cars. I do plan on getting Dirt Rally 2. I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to the physics of Dirt Rally, just maybe improved with like jumps and things like that. Because in Dirt 4, just everything still feels funky. So I have considered starting like a Twitch stream. Would you guys be interested in that? I'm kind of curious how it would work. I don't think I'd do live on YouTube. I would kind of want to keep this separate from my YouTube audience, or at least keep it out of the videos, since I do want to have more real life stuff on YouTube channel, but maybe sprinkle in edited videos every once in a while. But for live, for raw, I think Twitch would be a better platform for that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious. Would you be willing to watch that? It would be all driving games, maybe not all rally, but for the most part, it would probably be a lot of rally. I did mention earlier that I have Assetto Corsa, so I do want to try drifting. Let's see how that works in simulation, where I'm not bashing my own car into a wall. Plus, I don't have a car I could actually drift. All in all, so far I'm happy with this setup. I think the only thing I'm gonna do is I do want to put some heavy duty casters on the bottom, just so if I want to, I can unplug everything and just roll this out of the way. Because right now I have to disassemble it to move it, because it is heavy with this seat. So that's all I have for you today. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. I know I'm pushing the comments, and I appreciate it whenever you do, and I do try and reply. So thank you for everybody who does comment. Thank you to everyone who's subscribing. I really appreciate it too. I'm gonna keep content coming. You know, it's the off season, so, and I actually have a budget now, so we're doing parts. I just got a bunch of boxes in today, so I'm super excited. I got a bunch of stuff in the works, and I am really psyched for 2019, and I want you to keep up with me, and I'll show you where it takes me. So thank you. Have a great day.